Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. Wolves 0, Manchester United 1. A big result at Molineux to see off 2022. Joining me straight from the watch along is Mr. Ronaldo Brown. You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah.
I feel like I ever asked you back.
Yeah, right, good. Nice to see you sharing the love. And Angelina Kelly, you all right?
I'm all good.
It wasn't the greatest game, was it, Ange? We'll get straight into it.
No, it wasn't.
We'll
I mean, there were some pretty frustrating moments. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about individual players, but, you know, Anthony Martial was his more usual frustrating self.
Oh, really? Is that what you go with usual?
Yeah, I'm going to go there.
Before this, I clocked on to I won't say agenda, but Ange's opinions.
Well, you did say agenda. You put it out there. You let it hang out there. I won't say agenda. I won't say gender. No, we're not having it. If it said gender, I wouldn't have laughed along. I won't put it down to gender, but what do women know about football?
Oh, my God. You think that I'm a Martial hater, basically?
No, obviously, you made it quite clear by your tone before the game that you didn't rate Wan-Bissaka and Martial, and then I feel like you carried it on throughout the game.
Yeah.
You don't like Martial and Wan-Bissaka?
Yeah, I just hate them both.
Racist thing
I know.
in my life.
Well, you know what I mean? It's Christmas, why not?
No, what are your thoughts on Martial? Because he's a weird one, Anthony Martial. About 6 months ago, everyone had given up on him. I met him in a lift in Thailand, so he was all right with us. Maka loves him. And now I'm that fickle. I was like, he was quite polite and friendly. Yeah. Now I like him. Yeah. I've always liked him, but now I'll back him.
He's a dead cert for that Ballon d'Or one day. Yeah.
I always quite liked him.
He actually does he still have that clause in his contract? He has a Ballon d'Or.
No, it ran out, I think.
Yeah, it's surely.
It wasn't never ending.
Monaco were crossing their fingers, but it never happened.
In pre-season, he was scoring goals. He got injured beginning of the season, which was unfortunate for him because it looked like Erik ten Hag was trusting him and he was playing well. He has played a few games this season. His goal scoring record, actually, per night, is really good. Yeah. He's just missed a lot of football because of these injuries, and there's a question mark there. Today we saw probably the sort of the parts of Martial's game he gets criticised for, where he just didn't look like he had that energy. Looked like he dawdled a little bit on the ball. Probably wasn't finding the space you want him to find at times. Is that worrying, or is that... Go on then, you've got an opinion.
Yeah, Martial did look like he was labouring a little bit.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of games in succession, but then again, he didn't go to the World Cup. He had a long rest and a long break. I know he's someone that's been quite fragile, especially when it comes to his fitness. So I'm not sure whether that comes into play. But he just looked quite sluggish today, and I think people criticise him a lot for his body language and kind of sometimes the vibe that he gives off. Yeah. Which I don't always agree with. I think some people just have certain personalities.
Like Berbatov used to get that criticism, didn't he? When things were going wrong for him because he looked quite lethargic.
Well, that's the thing is with
the
Martial,
way he looked.
Martial is not doing. He's not doing great. His head seems to drop a little bit. His shoulders. He seems to look like he can't. He don't have the resilience to kind of get himself out of it. It's like once he starts having a bad game, I don't feel like he can turn it around, and that's the only problem that I do have with him. But I don't think he was very good today, and it's highlighting our need for a striker, especially with the fact that we've looked at our goal scoring record compared to the rest of the league, and for Manchester United, it's nowhere near good enough.
Ange, what's your thoughts?
I think the thing with Anthony Martial, as I've mentioned before, it's just the lack of consistency is just so frustrating. Do I understand why we've kept him for as long as we have? Yeah, I get it, because I think he does have really good moments. But my issue isn't even with the whole body language thing, because as we say, like, I have a face that I look fuming sometimes and I'm not. So
you're in that, so I can sympathise with how people can misread.
I totally get that. But my issue is just how long are we going to carry on giving these chances? I just don't understand what the end goal is, because at the end of the day, we've needed a striker for I don't know however many years. He's been given at least 3 or 4 opportunities where, like I said earlier on, you know, the red carpet's been rolled out. It's like, this is your chance. Take it. And, you know, you've barely got any competition at this point. This is your opportunity to really make your mark on this team, on this game. And he just doesn't live up to expectation. Now, am I saying to, like, totally get rid of him? No, but I think we need to be realistic in that he has proven to us time and time again, he's not the striker to take Man United forward. He cannot be the leading striker for Man United going forward to take us into this next chapter, and we need somebody else to do it. Not saying that he doesn't have his positives and he doesn't have some really good qualities, but I just don't think he's that star man for us, and that's okay. But we need to get somebody else.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm just going to get into some of the comments, and then we'll, by all means, everyone get involved. Then we'll get into some of the quotes. Nick Tannehill in Super Chat says, hello from Chicago. It's my wedding day and just woke up to an amazing gift. Top 4, lovely. Starting to think Anthony not good enough. Good one from Marcus. Congratulations, Nick, on your wedding day.
Yeah, happy wedding day.
Yep. Ross Murphy says, just get someone in January. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
Nothing. Congratulations, mate.
I don't even know what's going on with you sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like you're having your own little joke to yourself. Ross Murphy says, just get someone in January. Yeah. I'd take any striker just till the summer when we get a proper one in. G_OD agrees with you. Exactly. Sentimentality needs to go. These players need to be culled or needs culled. I don't think, Amir Gakali says, Rashford seems to have added +10 physical to his stats. We've got some quotes. Go on, my friend there. I called you Marcus Rashford then. Ronaldo Brown. Read out those quotes you've got from Luke Shaw.
So quotes we've got from Luke Shaw after the game. Shaw says, when you have someone like Marcus Rashford coming on, you know a goal is coming. That is a big statement. He also goes on to say, he's in a really good way at the moment, really positive and really happy. He's world class. Can be one of the best in the world if he keeps going. Very, very high praise there from Luke Shaw about Marcus Rashford. And that is something that I feel like, that was a sentiment that I think a lot of fans thought a couple of years ago, that he had world-class potential. He's never quite lived up to it, but he is still, on his day, capable of being unplayable. And he has the talent to do so. We just haven't seen it in the past couple of years.
Sorry to insult you, Dan. Yeah. I just want to say, it's a great picture there of Erik ten Hag and Marcus Rashford just arm in arm.
Yeah.
So whatever's gone on.
Congratulating him. Yeah.
Like, you've obviously been disciplined. Done. You've responded in the right way by performing. And there's, from what we gather there, it doesn't seem like there's any beef between them both where Marcus is sulking about the fact he's come on, played well, and Erik ten Hag and him hugging there. Sorry.
So Jay, if you want to read that. Because I think that is actually a bit of the context of him being asked about the kind of discipline and Rashford.
Luke Shaw said, again, like Ronaldo's pointing out there about what's going on, people can't do whatever they want. Maybe that's been the problem in the past. People getting away with silly little things, but the manager takes that into consideration. You saw today, if you don't keep standards high, you won't play. That is how Manchester United should be.
I don't get why people are angry at that.
I think that's like, if we want to get challenging at the very top, then you need to have that level. And it's like the little things. The little things matter. They add up.
And your players need to respect your manager. And I don't think you can say that the players don't respect him with the way he runs things.
I was quite supportive of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think, he gets a bit of a bad rap because people almost ignore the fact we finished third and second under him, which is hardly terrible.
And we had some amazing games and amazing memories.
We did. I think ultimately, though, he fell short. But one of the sort of question marks around him was at times you did feel like he was too nice with certain players.
Yeah. Did they respect him? Was he?
Was that disciplinarian?
It's like, it's only Ollie. We'll be all right. We can be late today. He won't mind.
Exactly. And then if you thought that was bad, then you had Ralph Rangnick, who I don't even think the players knew who he was, let alone respected him.
Yeah.
It was just like the lunatic started running the asylum. So there was no respect there whatsoever, and that showed with the performances on the pitch, which were almost to a man abysmal. Now you've got Erik ten Hag, who's come in. He's had this success in Holland with Ajax for a reason. He set out his stall early, pre-season. If you're late for meetings, if you don't turn up on time, you will get dropped. This is what's happening. The biggest footballer, or one of the biggest footballers in the world, certainly the biggest at Manchester United, was Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo refuses to come off the bench against Spurs. He's dropped from the squad and fined. He's punished. Doesn't matter if you're Alejandro Garnacho, if you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you're getting punished.
It could have been so easy for Ten Hag to buckle in that situation with Ronaldo, but he seemed to deal with it where he treated him as if you've got legendary status, but I've still got my kind of morals and my criteria for what you should be like as a player if you're going to play for me. And he wants to make sure all your players abide by it, because we even saw that in the pre-season where everyone wondered why for the first portion of the season we never saw Garnacho play, even though he was so good in pre-season. And we found out it's because he had a couple of attitude and discipline issues. Ten Hag said, you're not going to play for me for a while until you actually work for it. And then he got bedded in, and then we've shown.
Do you know what as well? I think with that helps that player long term. You know that. That's how it's going to be. Do Do you know what I mean? Not just at Manchester United necessarily, but at any top club. Then that gets you ready and set. But if you think, if you're 18, 19 and you can turn up late and still get picked, you think, it's going to be your attitude throughout your career. So if you do go to somewhere or you get a new manager who's like, well, you can't do that, what are you on about? I've been doing that for years. That's how I've always done. Irving Peterson, welcome to the academy. Colin Wilmot, who's been a member of the academy for 40 months, says Sancho can move Anthony out of the 11, no problem. Let's hope they both rise to the challenge and contest for that spot. I like that, up the Reds. Stormcastle 101 says Marcus was late to the party but brought the goods. Temiyun Adurni Otche, forgive me if I've just butchered your name, bro, says I don't want Bissaka turning heads. Martial needs to step up. Top 4. I want to talk about Luke Shaw. Someone had a go at us before for talking a lot about Luke Shaw, but I don't care. I'm going to carry on doing it.
What did he say?
He just said you lot need to get stop going on about Luke Shaw. He was in the watch along. Moved to centre back. Well, he played the last couple of games at centre back and dropped to at least an 8 out of 10 today. Yeah. I mean,
he was quality.
We were talking about this before.
But Martinez is worried.
No, I'm not. I think it's obvious, isn't it? Martinez, Varane. Yeah. But the thing with Luke Shaw is him and Martinez are both left-sided defending. They do play centre-back, both left-sided. Varane's the one that tends to get injured the most, isn't he?
No, I don't think all of a sudden Shaw's going to be centre-half. I think he's just deputised in there and been really, really good.
But my point is, left back, if Varane was... So, if Varane was out, though... do you see this continuing? Do you see Luke Shaw coming in if he played alongside Martinez?
You very rarely see 2 left-footed centre-half start.
That's my point.
Yeah, I think it's just like what you were saying. Is Lisandro Martinez isn't available, so he's been brought in for that. Do you see him actually being considered, long term as being the centre back? I wouldn't necessarily say so, but then you could play devil's advocate and say, well, if he's had a good few games, why not?
We will have some 10-hour quotes coming in a minute, but sorry,
I think it would be a situation where, because he played so well there, it means that we've got Ten Hag has at least another option. Yeah. If we light in that area, but it's not even just been a light in the area. We had Lindelof and Maguire on the bench. He literally had 2 centre halves on the bench, and he still chose to play Luke Shaw centre half. So he must have really liked what he's been seeing from him.
Just as an aside, there's a little stat here about Marcus Rashford. He scored 5 match-winning goals as a substitute, the joint most in Premier League history.
Good for him.
There you
Jesus.
go. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the parade for that one. But no, it's always a nice it's a nice little stat there. He's obviously he's very effective in Marcus, whether he started. I actually prefer him starting, but I know there was a reason why he was off the bench today. Just midfield-wise, it's weird for Bruno. It felt almost like the sort of performance we've seen from Bruno in old. We were getting a little bit frustrated with him at one point. Yeah. But I'm right in thinking he got the assist, didn't it? It was for Marcus's goal.
Yeah.
It was like, So it's weird because he's not a great performance by Bruno Fernandes, but he ends up
still
getting
ticks
involved
that box,
in the goal.
There weren't that many.
He's all right.
There weren't that many great performances throughout it. Obviously, Bruno gets heavily criticised by our fan base though. For not dropping really good
what do you make of that, right? Because I am baffled by a lot of things that go on in football in general. But the Bruno Fernandes criticism, I've always been really baffled by, because for me, he's probably one of the only sort of pre-Ten Hag signings where you can go post-Fergie, pre-Ten Hag, successful signing.
I think he's been a victim of his own success. Yeah. I think he came in and was basically, he performed statistically as probably the best number 10 in the world for a large amount of time when he first came with his output. And then when people don't see a little bit of a fall off from that, they kind of hyper-criticise him a little bit. And I don't know whether it's because he set his standards so high that if he doesn't reach him, he gets criticised. Yeah. And also he plays in a very, very important area of the pitch for the system. But it's also people need to realise he pretty much starts and plays week in, week out, rarely gets injured. And we've seen how United have looked when he's not played. He's a massive tempo setter and an energiser in there. And I think when he's not there, we kind of miss that. So I think people need to be more grateful of what they have in Bruno.
No, it seems like we've got a midfield there, Ange, that complements each other. You've got Bruno, who's showing, and I will get to Eric Ten Hag's quotes in a minute, like showing that side to his game, that tenacity, that box-to-boxness, that being able to stick a foot in and score goals, you can help create goals and pick a pass. You've got Eriksen, who's classy on the ball, obviously, can help dictate the tempo a little bit. And you've got Casemiro, who's just fucking mint, isn't he?
Yeah,
Casemiro is just unreal. It just feels like a midfield that works. It reminds me a little bit, do you remember that brief spell we had with Herrera, Matic and Pogba, where we had that record-breaking run under Ole. They just work well together. We seem to have that now, hopefully a bit longer than it lasted for them lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been an area of the pitch that has been debated for confident looking at the midfield than I have done in quite a while.
Yeah, I agree. Just on Marcus Rashford, Erik ten Hag said it's good after the decision. Obviously talking about not resting him, dropping him. He was bright, he was lively, scored a goal, the right reaction, of course. He then goes on to say, I was not happy at half-time. I told the players, with this attitude, you will not win games. Everyone has to deliver 10% more. We picked up on that, didn't we, Ronnie, during the game? That there was 50-50s where it felt like players were backing off, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, it seemed a very flat, half-hearted performance, and a lot of players didn't seem committed in certain challenges and like 50-50s and second balls, and it looked... As a fan, you kind of notice stuff like that straight away, and it kind of does irk you if you think that's the bare minimum. That is it.
I don't mind if someone's having an off day or if they, they pick a pass that don't come off, whatever. But you're right. The bare minimum is you give it the effort. And now he's obviously Erik ten Hag. I don't know why I'm pointing over there. Erik ten Hag's noticed that and said that. We're gonna get in some of the comments in the chat. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with Marcus Rashford as man of the match? What do you think of our shout of Luke Shaw? I thought had a very good game. Marshall getting criticism. Let us know what you think about that. Aaron Wan-Bissaka with another pretty solid, I think, 7 out of 10 performance today. Can't grumble at that. Philip Merchant in the super chat says Marcus looks brilliant in the form where things just bounce off him into the goal. Not permanent though. Need other attackers to step up and help carry the load. I agree about carrying the load. It worries me a little bit that. Blade X says Bruno's created the most chances in the league. You can't fault that. Also, I'm just sorry, I'm going to get into some of the other one. Leron Fernando says everyone was thinking about their New Year's Eve party plans. Right, said Ralph says Martial is over. I don't know about that one. I think that might be a little bit premature, but we'll see. Ask you about Anthony, because there's a couple of people mentioning Anthony. And Ed says Anthony's another nanny. I don't know if I said it like that, nanny. Yeah,
Indian cuisine.
Cockney nanny. But Nani on his day could win you a football match, and he probably gets a bit more respect now than he did do at the time. I think he was United's Player of the Year at one point as well. Do you see that advantage? Do you think you just got to take the rough with the smooth him? That's the way he is. He's one of those sort of mercurial type of wingers.
I think he is.
Yeah. He'll create stuff and he'll showboat now and again and he'll get you a goal and he'll do all this other stuff. And then he'll have games where you think, how's he playing for Manchester United?
I think so. I think he is going to be a bit of a mercurial player. He'll have games where he's going to be insane. He's going to be full of magic, skills, technically good, probably will get a goal or two. But then I also think he's a type of player where he can be extremely frustrating in other games. Obviously, he's been kind of pronounced as being one-dimensional, which I've seen that.
Yeah.
But the likes of Ian Robin was, but he could still not be stopped. But obviously, he's probably not that calibre of player. But I feel like if he can perfect his cutting in and shooting, he has been effective in doing it. We saw it against Man City. We've seen it in other games as well. But I think he does need to get a little bit more versatility in his game in terms of going outside, and he needs to do things a little bit quicker sometimes.
There is a Marcus Rashford interview going on. We will get those quotes before we wrap up and let us know what you think. Obviously, he's going to get asked about not just his goal, but the fact that he didn't start.
And that snazzy earring.
He's got a nice little earring there, has he? Yeah. I thought it was like
do you like that?
Some sort of AirPod or something at first.
It's very...
That means you don't.
It's not an earring I would wear, but if that's...
Would you wear that combined with a turtleneck? Or would you like to see people wearing that combined with a turtleneck?
I really would. I think for fashion in 2023.
Because Lopetegui was rocking a turtleneck. And then
maybe
put it this way, I couldn't rock it, Rashford, so do you, bro?
Yeah. Do you remember when he wore that... Was it that chain he wore with Rashion? Was it Rashion? That diamond type chain.
He got a lot
do you remember? Yeah. And people going mad. I always think with anything like that. I remember Luke Shaw when we had tight jeans once and everyone going mad. And I just think I'm a 42-year-old man. I've got no comment.
You don't look like a tight. You don't look like a tight jean kind of guy.
No, he was getting hammered for it, but I thought he was 18 at the time. Where he was 19.
He looks like he needs to wear like surveyor gear.
See, I don't even know what that is. What's surveyor gear? What do you mean?
Like builders.
Oh right, quantity surveyor. Don't they wear suits though? Or like a building.
Like a building. I might have used the wrong term there, but like
workman clothes.
Do you know what I love as well, right? Yeah. And I'm kind of on board with it.
Go on.
Is that people are loving Benny McCarthy.
Right.
People are genuinely like blaming Benny McCarthy. Or crediting Benny McCarthy for Marcus Rashford doing really well, and like no one knows that.
Yeah,
but I'll go with it.
Yeah,
it has to be. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Marcus Rashford said, "I was a little bit late. I slept in. I overslept." It's a good job we don't have this approach, isn't it, Ronnie? to Stretford Paddock.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Ange would have been on her own.
Oh, listen, I didn't know. I mean, I don't know about oversleeping.
I mean, you know, he's addressed it there. He was.
Fair enough, yeah.
I was late. I overslept, so I got dropped. That's how it goes now at Manchester United.
Yeah.
You know, we do need that though. You need a bit of a discipline. Erik ten Hag, he's getting the results. He's getting the performances out of people. We'd written off a few players. You know, Luke Shaw last season was. I'm not saying we're written off. Well, some people had. He was terrible. This season, he's bang at it. Marcus Rashford's bang at it. We've seen what the signings can do as well. And he's mixing up a bit. You know, Luke Shaw at centre back when the obvious one would have been to play Maguire.
Yeah.
And he, you know, regardless of what you think on Harry Maguire, I don't think you can argue that Luke Shaw at centre back didn't work today because it did.
It did, yeah.
So you know, more power to Erik ten Hag. I'm gonna wrap it up there. Don't forget, if you've not done already, to hit subscribe. There's a link in the chat. Ange, where can people find you?
On the TalkSport Edge app and socials, just search Angelina Kelly.
Yeah, good stuff. Ronaldo Brown, go on.
Ronaldo Brown _98 on the Twitter.
On the Twitter, not the Bird app.
On the Twitter.
So we are.
On the Twitter.
Listen, it's the last video of 2022. A big thanks to everyone who supported Stretford Paddock, including the people who were at the Dublin Live event last night. We do appreciate it, and we're looking forward to a positive 2023 on the channel, and also with Manchester United. Hopefully, it looks like things are going well under Erik ten Hag.
Top 4 now.
Top 4, dizzy heights, eh? We'll take a bit more of that. Thanks for watching.